Hi there, Ms. Gafad here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to answer a very important question about literature. How does setting impact a story or poem? So a common mistake is to believe that reading and enjoying literature requires expert skills that you don't have. That's simply just not true. Today's learning targets will be to identify examples of setting in literature and explain how specific examples of setting shape and impact a story. And before you leave this video, you should be able to rate yourself a 4 in both of these areas. And if you're not able to do that, please rewind, rewatch, and do whatever you need to do to be able to get to that 4. Good luck. If you can explain the difference between the next 4 pictures, then you have everything you need. Let's look at them now. This looks like blank pages. This looks like a very basic drawing. This looks like a very detailed image of some sort of street or bazaar. And this looks like some guys holding on for dear life as winds almost whisk him away down the street. So here's my claim about these 4 pictures. Based on the first one, I'd say without setting, there's not much of a story. This picture does show me that setting paints a picture of where the story takes place. But if I had to choose between looking at this picture and this one for the rest of my life, I clearly would choose a more detailed drawing. And why is that? Well, my claim is that setting paints a vivid picture of what the character feels, smells, hears, and even tastes during the story. My elaboration is that the more detailed the setting is, the more real the character's world becomes. In other words, when there are more sensory details, the character's world is more inviting. And this picture shows me that sometimes the setting makes the story more exciting. In some literature, the setting is part of a conflict or adds to the complication. And the more conflict there is in a story, the more exciting the story becomes. So how will this work in our class? Well, one thing I want you to know is the only difference between enjoying literature and enjoying pictures or images or movies is that you have to use your imagination to visualize the images instead of your eyes. So here's a sample writing prompt that we might use in class. It would look like using specific examples, argue how setting impacts a story. And as I've taught you, you would, in your writing, need to state a claim, find evidence to support your claim, and elaborate on that evidence. And I'm going to show you in this following paragraph how warrants can be used to elaborate. Or in other words, if you look at the glossary later on, warrants are generally accepted rules that we can all agree upon and that can help us explain how evidence proves our claim. So let's check out this next paragraph that I wrote for you. You can see in this paragraph, if you pause it and read it to yourself, that in red, I've stated a claim, and then in purple, I've shown evidence to support my claim, and then in blue, I've shown some rules that explain to my reader why the evidence proves my claim. In red, I've also restated claims, stated new claims, and then I repeat that same process. So pause the video now and read this paragraph to yourself. Now, in most writing prompts, I'm going to be referring back to a text, obviously, or multiple texts. So your writing prompts are going to probably sound more like citing specific example from the text, argue how setting impacts Saved by a Seal. Or I might even say, how does setting impact Saved by a Seal, and then refer to other poems or other pieces of literature. Just to review, before you move on or stop this video, I want to make sure that you've rated yourself a 4 in being able to identify examples of setting in literature, as well as being able to explain specific examples of setting and also explain how they shape and impact a story. If you need extra help, you can use this glossary if there was anything confusing about the words that I used while I was explaining this lesson. And I'm always here for extra help. So pause, rewind, rewatch, and don't leave until you can rate yourself a 4. Good luck!